right, man. Aaron Glenn is still a candidate for the Arizona head coaching job. A lot of Lions fans concerned he could leave and how that impact the Lions. Last year was concerned he couldn't leave. He could have left. Or 2021 he could have left. He's, stayed. Supposed to be hot as name. They got off to a shaky start defensively. I point to two things. One, Dan Campbell putting them on short fields and bad situations. We're going for it on fourth down early in the year. A few things. The help for the defense. They had too many guys down and went down. Anna Zorky was the second most important player next to Jared Goff. Jared Goff upheld his end of the bargain, right? He just need that push from the pocket. Then Harris went down. Kaminsky went down. Pascal went down before the season. He lost Tracy Walker. I mean, he was losing people left and right. So, and then RB President, when he left, they got better in the back end. That's a fact. So, obviously, it was something that he was doing or wasn't doing. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think most people fear losing Ben Johnson more because what he meant to Jared Goff. And people always look at the defensive numbers, but a lot of times everybody looking at the end result, but ain't everybody looking at the why. Everybody ain't looking at why this happened. Nobody looking at the why. You got to look at the why. What happened? So, and what honestly happened was, what happened was they had too many injuries to overcome that. And Aaron Glenn wanted to play man defense, and they had to mix it up. So, yeah, they got to get him some horses that can play man defense. The defense that he want to play, that's going to be getting a good middle linebacker, a good veteran corner, and all that. But I think they want a players coach, a real strong personality for Kyler Murray. But if we being honest, they need but they need an offensive coach. That's what they need. Somebody who's an offensive wizard. And defensively, we don't matter. And obviously, Aaron Glenn can go get that guy offensively. But it's all about Kyler Murray. And I do think a former NFL player is required for him to respect them and keep them in check and hold them accountable. Because the way he's talking to Cliff Kingsbury, he didn't respect him. And I think it's kind of like the Brad Stevenson effect in Boston, where a lot of those players over in Boston didn't respect Brad Stevenson. The one they didn't respect him, he just couldn't say certain things. He couldn't say certain things the way Ime Udoka could. He couldn't say certain things the way Ime Udoka could. And I think that's the difference. He could talk to him a certain type of way. He could say, who the fuck you talking to? It's just a cultural thing. Popovich and Phil Jackson and, certain other, Jimmy Johnson, those guys were able to kind of sympathize with black culture. They was able to respect them. And it is, like I tell you about being a head coach, is more social than X's and O's. I'm telling you, it's more social than X's and O's. John Harbaugh, he ain't no special teams coach by trade. I mean, he's a special teams coach by trade. That's what he is. But you gotta get respect, bro. When they ask you to, and everybody get respect in different ways, Popovich treat everybody the same. Phil Jackson is able to hit, kind of have people under control. He's more of a psychologist. He more a psychologist with it. And then you get to then you get to a guy like Jimmy Johnson. think he kind of a mixture between them, but he could be a hard ass too. He'll get on you. He'll get on you. So Aaron Glenn, I think they looking at his personality, he gonna be able to keep Kyler Murray in check and get that respect for him. But everything you hear about him, he's selfish. You know, he only care about Kyler Murray. He only want to play video games. And what's so funny is they don't have no problem. And I'm not just talking about white people. I'm talking about the brothers in the league. Because Patrick Peterson aired them out too. They ain't got no problem with airing out the laundry of a black quarterback. Our own people don't have no problem with that. They don't. They don't have no problem with airing our people out. Our own people out. But that's just a maturity thing. When you've been the shit for so long, people don't understand. But I ain't never been through that. Like, nigga, I'm nothing new. You know what I'm saying? You know, they talking about, well, money make you more than what you are, and this, that, and the third. I ain't like never been the shit. You know? But I can just imagine, you know, everybody telling you top dog, you fire, you the shit, it's gonna go to anybody's head, bro. You know, that's why women, you know, demand so much, because, you know, be speeding up, I ain't mad at you. But you know, women demand so much, bro. When you tell a woman she pretty her life, and that's your job as a father, and you know, a lot of people, you saw girls gonna tell her, oh, she's so pretty, this, that, and the third, and whoop, 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 whoop. And you know, now she thinks she don't deserve nothing less with the finest, because that's what everybody been telling her. They go same thing for an athlete or for a dude. You don't think you deserve nothing less? You know, so it's easy to be humble, you know, when you a regular guy, or you ugly, or, you know, nobody hype you up, and you ain't got no special, you ain't special in no type of way. It's easy to be humble. When you come up on some money, or you grow into your head, or, you know what I'm saying, you know, you have your glow up, and people start blowing your head up, you gonna go out there and think you the shit. Not too many people gonna remain humble. Not too many of these dudes gonna remain humble. Trust and believe me. Yeah, that shit gonna go to the average person head, for sure. For sure. For sure. And don't you forget it. For sure, man. And that's just natural. That's just natural, bro. But he gonna have to keep him in check. And if we do lose him, let me finish this. He gonna have to keep him in check. And he might not like it. It might be tough love, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like Larry Brown and Iverson. He need it. He gonna thank him down the line for it. But if we do lose him, I feel like we need to know so we can replace that role. And I think the defense is at a place in this team. Well, the defense is at a place, and this team is at a place where, especially the defense, where they haven't formed a full identity. So somebody can come in and still put their mold on this defense. They young enough where you ain't gonna be. It's not like when Jimmy Johnson keep hating to use the other references in sports and other college references but like when Jimmy Johnson left Miami, and they brought in Larry Coker, and they was telling Larry Coker, just don't touch the defense. We good on this side. And he listened. It ain't that. This defense still young enough, still gonna have plenty of new pieces to be able to mold it in however way you gonna want to mold it. So getting a new defensive coordinator is not going to be a bigger uphill battle than would have been getting an offensive coordinator. I think they need to have an offensive coordinator in the wing, learning with Ben Johnson, so he can pass that baton. You know, that's another young hotshot guy on another team. He can learn under Ben Johnson. They can learn together. He can teach Ben some stuff. Ben can teach him some stuff. You know, same thing with Aaron Glenn. You know, you probably going to lose him soon, right? You know, maybe this year, but moving on. Have somebody learn up under them that, you know, you possibly could feel comfortable, or help usher another defensive coordinator in. But if he do leave, I think that the defense is so young and kind of, you know, they need more talent, a lot more talent, that it's not, you know, as long as you get the right guy in there, it don't have to be a Pacific style or Pacific tone or Pacific scheme. I think you get somebody else in there that, you know, share your principles as a head coach, Dan Campbell, You can mold this defense however you want to mold it. So that's my opinion on it. I don't think it's a set mold for defense yet. Had this been established, then you probably looking at people who familiar, who run a particular scheme, who do this. You can still switch and say, well, we want to run more zone. We want to be a zone predominant team. We want to be more balanced. We want to be a 4-3, a 3-4, even odd, 4-5, whatever the fuck you want to run. So they still young enough to be able to get away with that, and still talentless enough to, this thing still can go either way. So I think next year you start seeing them bend the corner with, even before you draft anybody, with getting guys back healthy amongst this defensive front, and guys developing, and what Rodriguez do, what Barnes do, what Melifano do if he finally ever get healthy. So yeah, I think they're young enough to be able to pick up, Scott from the beginning with another defensive coordinator. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Hit the link tree. Find me on everywhere. First link in the description. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.